Hi friends and a very warm welcome to all of you in this e-learning program. Welcome to Science by Harsha ma'am. In today's session, we are going to see on how the name of the chemical formula is written. As I said you, today is the day when all your queries will be solved, like why aluminium chloride is AlCl3, magnesium chloride is MgCl2, while the sodium chloride is NaCl. All these three are chlorides only, but why? Somewhere there is one chlorine, somewhere there are two, and somewhere there are three. There is a particular way of writing any chemical formula, and it has to follow some basic rules. So first I'll explain you the rules, and then the things will become very easy for you. First we'll see the rules. Now, what are the rules for writing the chemical formula? The very first rule for writing the chemical formula is balance the valency of whole of the compound, that is the total charge on the compound should be 0. The total compound, on the total compound the valency should be 0. Second thing, that comes in writing for the chemical formula, second important thing for writing a chemical formula is this, that is uh, on the left hand side metals and on the right hand side non-metals are written. This is the strategy for writing any chemical compound. Generally on the left hand side all the metals are written, and on the right hand side non-metals are written. That means those who are carrying the positive valency will come first and the negative valency will come later. After that, the next thing is, if it is a polyatomic ion, okay, then the polyatomic ion should be included in the bracket. This is what you have to remember. That is, for the polyatomic ion, it should be written in the bracket. Quickly note down all the three rules, then we'll see the examples of the formation of chemical compounds. Be quick and uh, write down the content. I hope that you have written the rules for the chemical formula. Then let's move further. Okay, now let's move further on. The next particular thing, that is how to write any chemical formula. This, the content we are going to do is writing the chemical formula. Let us take first example of sodium oxide. Then magnesium oxide, aluminum oxide. First, I'll explain you all these three, how the names are written. And if this is written how to, from the, you should be able to pronounce, even when it is written in the form of symbol, you should be able to note it down in this way. For example, it's sodium oxide. What is now the formula of sodium? The chemical name of sodium, it's Na. Oxide is O. This is clear? First, write down the symbol of that particular element. You can see sodium is a metal and oxide is a non-metal, oxygen. The valency of sodium is +1, that of oxygen is -2. So, here the crisscross happens and sodium is having 2, oxygen is having 1. So, the total, just the elements, how many sodium you are taking? 2. So, it's Na2 and oxygen will be 1. Always just crisscross the valencies. Give the valency of sodium, give the suffix of sodium over here, that is the valency over here, for the oxygen over here. Don't consider the signs. Signs are just an indication whether it is a metal or non-metal. You don't have to indicate anything about it. Sodium oxide, Na2, oxygen 1. How actually everything is getting formed, that also I'll explain you. Sodium is having 2, means with 1 oxygen, how many sodium are combining? 2. With 1 oxygen, how many sodium are combining? 2. Next, magnesium oxide. The molecular formula for magnesium is Mg, oxide is O. Mg +2, oxide -2. Both of them are having same valencies. In that case, don't write the valencies. If the valencies are same, do not write it. Directly write MgO. If you write this Mg2O2, then also it will do. Okay, that is correct only. But mostly, this is the way people are writing so well. Generally neglect the sign when it is same. So here you are having MgO, while sodium oxide is Na2O. Now coming to aluminum chloride, it's very nice one. Aluminium oxide, sorry. Aluminium Al, oxide O. What is the valency of aluminium? It's +3. That of oxide is what? -2. So what we have to do? Simply crisscross. That is 2 aluminium and oxygen 3. So Al2O3. Whatever number you are getting, that means that many number of atoms. So how many aluminium you are having? 2. How many oxygen you are having? 3. Okay, is it clear? I hope you are clear. I'm going to take few more examples so that things go directly into your brain. Be quick, note it down. You have 1 minute to note it. Quick. Okay, I hope that you have noted. Now, I'm going to do few, then you have to do few. Calcium hydride, magnesium hydride, and nitrogen hydride. Okay? Calcium hydride, calcium Ca, hydride hydrogen, calcium valency plus 2, hydride minus 1. So what will be the compound? CaH2. Okay, now I'm going to be bit quick. Magnesium hydride, magnesium Mg, hydride H plus 2 minus 1, Mg1 H2. One we generally don't write. Nitrogen hydride, nitrogen and hydride. This is what you might be thinking. Okay, oh, how can this happen? That is, nitrogen is a non-metal, right? Why? Because its atomic number is, what is the atomic number of nitrogen? What is the atomic number of nitrogen? Just count and tell. You will come to know that atomic number of nitrogen is 7. Its electronic configuration is 2, 5. That means it needs 3 electrons to become stable. Nitrogen hydride, if this is exactly what I want you people to come up, because from here a new concept is going to come up. Okay, I'm going to take you to the new concept from this particular point. Nitrogen hydride, how can it happen? Ma'am recently taught that for any chemical formula, first the name of a metal is coming, then a non-metal is coming. Then here how? Non-metal came. One more thing, its valency is -3. How can we adjust it? Right, these are the common things that come into your brain. Just try to recall. Do you know this chemical? Have you ever seen this chemical formula? NH3. Now you might be thinking, yes, you have already seen this particular chemical formula. This is chemical formula of which particular compound? Okay, I will answer it after, at the end of this topic, or maybe NH3. 1 minute I'm giving you. If in 1 minute you can text me the answer on my number, then it's very good, otherwise it's very bad. NH3. One more I'm giving you, CH4. Exactly after 1 minute, I'll write the answer of both of this. And in spite of being a non-metal, they are coming first. What's the reason for that? That also we'll discuss. Few more seconds. I'm going to wait for you. Okay. The name of NH3 is ammonia. This is its common name. Here, this is its common name. CH4, its common name is methane. But if I want to write its name like this is nitrogen hydride. How many hydrides are there? 3. So when you write it's generally trihydride. Methane, 1 carbon. How many hydrogen? 4 hydrogen. General name, common name of CH4 is methane. Actually it is carbon tetrahydride. Tetra means 4. These are the common things which you should know. In your somewhere you might have studied that is that I'll make you write. 1 means mono, 2 means di, 3 means tri, 4 means tetra, 5 means penta. All these things I'll make you write because we are going to use it. So this is first, yes, nitrogen and hydride. Hydrogen. Nitrogen needs how many electrons to become stable? It needs 3. Hydrogen 1. So 1 nitrogen will do all kind of labor there with 3 hydrogens. So that 1 electrons will get balanced. Okay. In the next particular session, we are going to see about the various types of bonds. Actually, there are 6 type of bonds. Last year I had taught only 2, but this year I am going to teach all 6 types of bonds. Okay, it's NH3, which is ammonia. CH4, that is methane. Quickly note down this much. After that, we'll move further. How this came that also. Valence here, this is -3, this is +1. Nitrogen 1, hydrogen 3, NH3. CH4, carbon, hydrogen. You cannot take the valence if nitrogen is +3, it's ultimately -3. Okay, but it's the way to note down, and the general way is first write metals and then non-metals. Okay, so quickly note down this. I'm giving you 1 minute. After that we'll move further. Be quick. Okay, I hope that you have noted. Now let's move further. Okay, now let's move further. Generally, what is the way to write polyatomic ions? Whenever there are polyatomic ions, then the problem is the valency as well as they are having their own numbers. Like for example, if it's this way, sodium hydroxide, then magnesium hydroxide, aluminium hydroxide. Okay, so there are three. We are considering three. Aluminium hydroxide, sodium hydroxide. Molecular formula of sodium is Na, hydroxide H. Sodium plus 1. Hydroxide is, sorry, OH. And at the valency of OH is minus 1. Both of them are same, so it will be AOH. Hydroxide is minus 1. That also I'll teach you. Oxygen and hydrogen. Valence of oxygen is minus 2. That of hydrogen is plus 1. So minus 2 plus 1. That is minus 1. Got minus 2 plus 1. That is minus 1. So hydroxide is minus 1. One more thing. Why the valency of carbonate? CO3. It's 2 minus. That also I'll tell you. Carbon, its valency is plus 4. Oxygen, valency is minus 2. How many oxygens are there? 3. So, plus 3 into valency of oxygen is minus 2. So, plus 4, 3 2s are 6, minus 6. What is 4 minus 6? It's minus 2. Many times you may forget this particular charge. Many times it is happening. Ammonium, NH4. Nitrogen, generally the valence of nitrogen, you are taking minus 3, hydrogen plus 1. How many hydrogen are there? 4. So what is 4 minus 3? It's plus 1. So ammonium is NH4 plus 1. This is how actually the valence of any polyatomic ion is calculated. That no one and is teaching and nowhere it is given in your book. Okay, that is called as finding out the valency of a particular element, and this is the only strategy. For that you need to be clear with the valencies. Now coming back to our session back. Magnesium hydroxide. Magnesium Mg hydroxide. OH plus 2 minus 1. Now how to write Mg1 and OH2? But generally what students do? MgOH2. They write like this. No. Wrong way to write. Whenever you are having a polyatomic ion, you have to always enclose it in bracket. So you have to write MgOH twice. Why? Because it is a polyatomic ion. Always remember, polyatomic ions should be mentioned in a bracket. Come to aluminium hydroxide. Aluminium Al hydroxide OH. Aluminium valency plus 3 hydroxide minus 1. So how many aluminium you are having? 1. Hydroxide 3. So what will be its molecular formula? AlOH thrice. Right? You need to do lots of practice when it's this. Be quick, note it down. I'm giving you 1 minute exactly to note all these three. And always remember, this is the rule. Polyatomic ion should be enclosed in brackets. Always remember this. Be quick and we'll move further. I hope that you have noted, and now we are going to move further. This same concept, polyatomic ion, I'm going to teach you with the variable valency. That is iron oxide. Generally, this is what creates problem. For those particular elements that are having variable valencies, there they have to note and give you. For example, if it's this way, like ferrous oxide, ferric oxide, and copper oxide. I'm going to I'm going to talk about ferrous oxide and ferric oxide. There are some particular compounds, some particular elements that are having variable valencies. Try to recall, we have already discussed. If it's ferrous, then it's Fe oxide O. Fe, it's valency ferrous Fe plus 2 oxide minus 2, it's Fe O. Ferric oxide, that is iron, oxygen, plus 3 minus 2. It will be Fe2O3. So one element is existing in its two forms. Copper oxide. Copper also we are having copper cuprous, copper cupric. If they have not specified that mention about cuprous oxide and cupric oxide, then you have to do both. Okay. That is copper cuprous and cupric. CuO plus 1 minus 2. It will be Cu2O cupric. CuO plus 2 minus 2. It will be CuO. Clear? Note it down quickly so that we can move further. I hope that you have noted this. Now, next particular question, uh, it's somewhat good for you to understand one particular. Now, there is one element exists with variable valencies. Variable valency of 3 and 5. Write the formula of possible oxides. Now, when you're given a normal question, it becomes very easy for you to answer. If this kind of question is asked, like there is one particular element that is having variable valency, you have to write all the possible oxides. If it's given copper, if it's given iron, it becomes very easy for you like we did right now. But when a question comes where the element name is not given, most of the students, they get scared. But there is no need to scare, just think, you don't know the element, right? So just assume, let the element be X. You can assume whatever you want. I can assume it as H also because my name is Harsha. You can like any variable. Let the element be X. Suppose it's this X. And valency is 3 and 5. Oxides. So if it's valencies 3 and 5. XO plus 3 plus 2. It will be X2O3. Right. XO. Valencies plus 5 minus 2. X2O5. You might be thinking this is existing. Yes. This type of elements are existing. So that's about question that we did. Note it down. Okay. Note down this question. After that we'll see one more question, and then that question will be such that it's you have to think something. Okay. This is also you have to think something. Be quick. Note it down. Next, an element E E has its oxide as A2O3. This is some particular element, say E, and its oxide is as A2O3. State the valency of E. And write down its chemical formulae with chloride, sulfate and phosphate. You cannot predict which is this element E. You cannot predict it. Why? Because there are many elements which are forming the formula like this. If it's aluminium chloride, it's Al2O3. If it's ferric chloride, it's Fe2O3. So everything that is having the valency plus 3 will be forming this particular form. How can you say that this is the valency plus 3? For that, you need to understand the basic thing. The formula is E2O3. Reverse strategy you have to go now. Reverse strategy, okay? EO. You are taking E from here. And for O you are taking from here. The suffix is this way we are carrying, okay? Gaadi ulti ghumani hai abhi. You have to move on with the reverse strategy. So what will be the valency of E? 3. What is the valency? Plus 3. It's a reverse whole strategy. You have to write the formula with chloride. I'm doing it over. You note down this. I'll do it over here only. E and chloride. So E chlorine plus 3 minus 1. It will become ECl3. Sulfate ESO4. 2 minus plus 3. It will be E2SO4 thrice. Phosphate EPO4 plus 3 minus 3. The valencies are same. So no need to mention. So this is the next particular answer. Note down this whole content very quickly in a minute, then we'll wind up. You have exactly 1 minute to note it. So I hope that you have noted down this. And that's all for the content of the day. Now I think it's very clear with you how any particular name of any particular compound is given and how on that basis difficult questions can come. In our next particular session, we'll see the various types of bonds. That's all for the content of the day. After doing the bonds, this particular part of the general chemistry that this is, uh, that is what is needed for writing out any chemical reactions or what. Okay, so I hope that you have understood the content, and that's all for the content of the day. Thank you so much for listening to me, and do keep doing the homework regularly as in how you are doing, and have a very good day all of you. Bye bye.